This isn't no game. This is not a test. When you're a stacker all the way, from your first coin to your last dying day. When we buy metals, we buy them for life, for your family, for you, for tomorrow, for their tomorrows. Okay, I was being a little dramatic. Some of you probably got the little Tupac reference for stacker for life. When you spend time with stackers, you start to understand that we're a little different. We have a different level of belief and conviction and committedness that you just don't see from other investors and other assets. And there's a reason. It's because stacking or buying precious metals is just wholly different. Let's talk about it. There's a reason why there are terms like gold bugs and Wall Street silver apes and all these wonderful names for people that invest in precious metals. And there's also a reason why people refer to gold and silver, particularly gold, as God's money. As you know, gold and silver have been used for eons and even referenced in the Bible. See, the moment you really learn about gold and silver and they commit to purchase these metals, you are changed forever. You realize that the dollar and other currencies are simply an agreement, something that has value because we all agree it has value, not because of its intrinsic value, like gold and silver. Once you have one of these metals in your hand, you just start to feel it. You're just kind of forever changed. And it doesn't hurt that some of these coins are truly beautiful coins. That aside, the mere possession makes you just want to acquire more and more and more. Which leads me to the 4 top reasons why I love stacking. 1, PYA, protect your assets, or some might say CYA, cover your assets. The wealthier you are, the bigger the target on your back. Be it the tax man, creditors, frivolous lawsuits, and even bad guys and gals. You've probably heard me say this before, but it's really hard for people to take what they don't know you have. And so the invisibility that gold and silver provides us is one of my top 4 reasons why I love stacking. It's an insurance policy. While you hear a lot of people talking about the S hitting the fan, and that could possibly happen, what I do love is that gold and silver will truly protect me in the event that I wake up one morning and the world has gone crazy. Kind of like the last 2 weeks or so. I mean, think about it. If you lived in Russia and you were experiencing the crashing of the ruble, wouldn't it feel a little better holding some gold and silver and not some paper money? See, gold and silver give us that downside protection, and it also gives us positive performance. In a previous video, I showed the performance of stocks versus gold since 1971 when we left the gold standard. And the performance is almost identical, more than 4,000% increase during that time. So I love that this insurance policy protects me if things go wrong, and they also offer me positive performance, that hedge against inflation, that protection. The third reason, stability and liquidity. See, there aren't many investments that can tout themselves as providing both of these. While there are absolutely going to be price fluctuations and all that stuff, precious metals hold their value and they'll never go to zero. And really, those fluctuations are really about providing us an opportunity to get our precious metals at a discount. But that stability and the liquidity is part of why I love being my own bank. It's why banks have reclassified gold as a tier one asset equivalent to cash on the bank's balance sheet. Also, I want you to ask yourself this. If banks are purchasing metals at unprecedented levels and even manipulating markets to purchase as much as they can, shouldn't we be doing the same thing? The liquidity. While I hope I never have a situation where I'm forced to sell, there's also a sense of comfort that comes from the liquidity that, unlike many other investments, I can voyage over to the local coin shop and within 30 minutes convert my metals into cash to address any need that I have. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't have savings. We all know that. But if things really do get bad, it's nice to know that within an hour, I can have some extra cash in my hand. Especially when you think about what has happened in Canada and the freezing of people's assets and bank accounts. It's kind of nice knowing that we have these precious metals that we can go liquidate with very little effort. The fourth thing, I love precious metals because they truly change you. I know it sounds weird, but when stacking is your way of life, you realize that the goal is to attain as much as you can. To take your depreciating dollars and put them into something that's going to hold its value, that's going to be a hedge against inflation, and that offers tremendous growth. When you are truly a stacker, you also start to associate your spending with ounces that you could purchase instead. I know personally, my decision making has changed over the years as I continued to invest in gold and silver in particular. Now, I know I told you there were four, but let me give you a fifth one as a bonus. I also love that it's like an extra life insurance and money outside the system. I can't tell you the number of horror stories I've heard about contested wills, probate, et cetera, causing all kinds of delays. And I would hate the idea of my family being preoccupied dealing with lawyers and courts and all kind of other stuff instead of just being focused on grieving my loss. So I want enough gold and silver that my family would rather have me living, but that they're also thankful that I left them so much and that their only concern is how are they going to divide all this up. Stacking is not like passively investing in mutual funds or a 401k. I don't know about you, but some of my most anticipated days are the days when I get to stroll into the local coin shop, look through the inventory, and decide which coins I'm going to add to my stack. And when I order online, oh my goodness. Let's not talk about the 5 days I have to wait for the e-check to clear and then finally get the tracking on the shipment. And then I'm looking at it every day, wondering why my package hasn't moved and when it's going to show up. Come on, I can't be the only person that does that. See, stacking is one of those things that you can even stop for a little while. But once you get into it, it's always in your blood, calling you, asking you to come back, convert your fiat into something meaningful like silver and gold. Stocks and bonds don't do it. Stacking starts at a choice, but it really quickly becomes a way of life. So if you're a stacker like me, keep stacking for life. And so as we wrap this up, please take a moment to share some of your comments. Share when and what made you a stacker for life. Or what's your favorite part of being a stacker for life? And while I'm asking you to do things, could you also hit that like button and subscribe to Stackers University so we can reach more people? It will sure make a big difference. And it also makes sure that you won't miss a single video. That would be greatly appreciated. And as always, all I ask is that you stack smarter and never stop learning. Take care.